Not too long after that, the killer's dad, Elmo Lewis, apparently inserted himself into the rivalry.
Elmo was a kind of outlaw. He had been in prison, what have you.
Elmo thought that Chuck was degrading Jerry and said, I'll throw you in the blue hole, which is some kind of Louisiana swamp name or something. I don't know what. Had a Barlow knife, and Chuck took off running.
And he was getting ready to go up there and cut Chuck Berry. There was no doubt about it. Jerry stopped him. He said, "Don't cut him, Daddy, don't cut him."
And then everything settled down. Nobody saw anybody, but the next morning, come downstairs, Chuck and Elmo sitting there having breakfast together like nothing had happened.
While Chuck escaped unharmed, the apple didn't fall too far from the tree in the Lewis family when it came to issuing threats of violence.
Butch Owen, he was playing bass for us at that time. He was mad at Butch, and he kept telling Butch he was going to kill him.
Butch walks in ahead of me, and Butch said, "Jerry, if you don't mind, we come to get our money, our back pay." And Jerry Leach said, "Well, I got your boy's money." When he pulled that pistol out, I immediately exited. I knew he was fixing to shoot, and I didn't want to be in the line of fire. Immediately, I hear bam.
Bullet fragments went through him and right out his back. But what was bad is Jerry just put in new white carpet. He didn't like it because he was bleeding on the carpet. So they drug Butch outside and put him on the sidewalk.
They were able to get him in a helicopter and get him to the hospital and save him. What a blessing that was. But Jerry fired him. And I said, "Well, should we fire him? I mean, I know it was an accident, but you did shoot him." And he said, "Well, I've got a tour coming up, and I have to have a bass player, and he can't play."
Ultimately, the shooting was ruled an accident by a court of law, and Jerry Lee was charged with a misdemeanor. By the time poor Butch got shot, the killer had quite a following, all over the world. Despite Elvis, Jerry Lee was living out his own personal dream of wearing the crown, king of rock and roll.
We went out to Los Angeles on Jerry's airplane, and we go out there and we go to the Roxy Theater, and somebody had told me that John Lennon was there and he was up in the balcony. And we go out on stage to do the show, and there's all these clouds of marijuana smoke coming from the balcony. Somebody is smoking a lot of dope up in the balcony. So I go back to the dressing room, and I'm sitting there with Jerry and a couple of guys from the band, and we're just sitting there, and somebody knocks on the door. Well, they open the door, and John Lennon is standing there. He didn't say a word. He walked in that dressing room, and he knelt down right beside Jerry, and he kissed the bottom of his shoe.
He didn't like the Beatles. He said, "Every time I turn on the radio, it's a Beatle here and a Beatle there." I don't like them haircuts.
He had his differences with the Beatles, Chuck Berry, Libby, and lots of others, but the killer's main rival was always the king himself.
Jerry was out in a nightclub in Memphis, and he was drinking champagne, and he was partying with some people. And he got a phone call, and somebody said, "You need to come to the phone. It's for you, and it's Elvis." And Jerry goes in, and he takes the phone call. And Elvis was depressed and unhappy, and Jerry said, "Don't worry about a thing. I'm going to get in my Rolls Royce. I'm coming there. I'll come and get you, and we will go somewhere, and we'll both be better."
Jerry was about half loaded, and he said, "Well, I said I'd go on down there."
It was about 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning.
So he pulled up to the gate.
Uncle Vernon walked down. He said, "Tarp, how you doing, boy?" "Jerry Lee, you all right?" Yeah, we fine. Good to see you, Vernon." He said, "Open the gate. We're going to go up and see Elvis a minute." Vernon said, "Killer, I can't do that. Elvis don't want nobody coming in." Made Jerry mad. He said, "I've been knowing that boy since he started. Nothing's changed as far as I'm concerned."
And he had a gun laying over on the dash, big old 45 or something. And so they asked him, said, "What are you doing, going in there to kill Elvis?" He said, "That's exactly right."
Just acting crazy and saying crazy stuff.